What's your favorite quarantine activity? Norman. Sorry, Norman's loving the scratches I'm giving him. My favorite quarantine activity is watching TV with my husband, honestly. Norman. Can you recommend non-toxic or low-waste pet stuff? You know, that's a good question. I don't really have a lot of stuff for my pet. Oh my gosh, hold on. We have some toys, but not that much. Hold on. I just love this effect, so I want to put it on. We have a few toys for Norman, but not that many, so... Hey, no biting. No biting. He loves to bite me. Did you see that, guys? He just went for me. What breed is my dog? He is a Bernedoodle. So he's a Bernese Mountain Dog and a Poodle. How do you feel about being a dog mom? Does it make you responsible? Let me tell you guys, last night I woke up in the middle of the night to him crying. Emmyn is a very heavy sleeper, so he did not wake up. I had to wake him up. But I'm a very light sleeper, so I woke up to Norman crying and circling his crate, so I had a feeling he was gonna poop in there. So I jumped out of bed and I was like, Emmyn, I gotta take Norman out. So I took him outside in the middle of the night at 2 a.m. To let him do his business, and he did. And I just want to say I know my dog very well at this point, so I was very proud of myself for making that good mom decision to take him outside. Everyone's asking, when can we expect a baby? Guys, that is a great question. Who knows? I don't know. Both of us agree we don't want to have kids until we are financially stable enough and just in the right place in life. There are a lot of things that Norman's sneezing. There are a lot of things that Emmyn wants to do that we can't really do with a baby, like go on tour, for example. So there are a lot of things we want to do first, which is why we said we definitely want to wait at least 2 years to have a kid, but we'll see. Who knows, guys? Anything can happen, but definitely the only time we're going to purposely have a child is in a couple years, because that is not a good idea right now. I think it's very responsible for husbands and wives to not have kids just because they're married. Just because you're married doesn't mean you're in a good spot for that, and doesn't mean you're financially stable or in a good mindset or whatever. You don't have to have kids just because you're married. I think that a lot of people confuse that, and it's kind of weird. Are you going to dye your hair again? I'm not planning on it. I really want my natural hair color. As you can see, I almost have it, which is pretty cool. Look at Norman. He's grabbing me. I almost have my natural hair color, so that's pretty cool. Hi! What's up? Hey, no biting. Norman! Guys, I might have to put Norman away soon because he's been out for a while and he's starting to go a little crazy. Are you going to learn Spanish? I've been learning Spanish. Are you going to watch Verizon Pay It Forward live stream about Earth Day? I don't know what that is, but maybe you can let me know what that is. Stop! No biting. No biting. Sorry guys, I'm just talking to my dog. No. Do you want a treat? You want a treat? Are you going to be a good boy? Look at him. Are you being a good boy? Guys, my dog is so cute, for real. Hey. No biting. Alright, I'm going to give him a treat. Hold on. Let's see. How do you say your last name? Calleiro? Calleiro? Calleiro. There's a lot of ways you could say it technically. The Cuban pronunciation, it is a Cuban last name. The Cuban pronunciation is Calleiro. So there's kind of a yay happening. But fast is just Calleiro. Where did the name Norman come from? Honestly, we just came up with it. It just kind of happened. How are you recycling now? All the recycling places near my house are closed. Guys, you should see my house. It is honestly a trash dump at this point because we obviously have not been able to go out. So we have cardboard boxes from ordering some things online. We have plastic bags that I had to get from shipped orders. It's really, really frustrating trying to be sustainable in this pandemic, but better to be safe than sorry. So we have so many cardboard boxes, so many things that need to go to recycling, but we haven't taken yet because we can't really. I don't know if this stuff is closed. I don't think they are in my county because we live in a pretty small town that's very rural. So there aren't like a ton of cases here, so I'm not sure everything's closed here. But either way, I really don't want to leave the house like as much as possible, so I don't know about that. Let's see. Someone said, do you do natural medicine or the medicine from the pharmacy? So, wow, I hate how my effect goes away every time I look at the questions. Anyway, I think that, okay, my mom is a cool mix, or had a cool mix of like natural medicine and like regular medicine growing up. So like she really only took us to the doctor when we absolutely needed to. And if we ever needed to use medicine, she was always very like minimal, like used what you need. Like obviously if you're like hurt and you need something, that's okay. But she was never like the first to just like give you a ton of medicine. And I do prefer natural remedies, and I am getting into like herbalism and learning about how different herbs can help, and like Chinese medicine and stuff like that. But I'm definitely like in the middle of like modern and natural. I'm not like all natural, and I'm not like all regular medicine stuff, you know? Hey, no. Sorry, my dog's biting a pillow. Let's see, what else are people saying? Hey, stop. Guys, my dog will not stop biting me. I need to put him away soon because he's going a little crazy. How many ticks do you have? Like, is it just the mouth one, or do you have others? I have about 3 ticks. I have this one. I have my ears, which, guys, I think once you know about my ear tick, then you will notice it a lot. But I have ears, nose, and toes. So my toes are always like cracking and moving, and my ears are always going like this. Okay, I'm getting a lot of questions about the LGBT community for some reason. I always feel like I answer this question enough, so I don't know why everyone asks me about it. But someone asked, do you support LGBT adoption? Obviously, I don't know who wouldn't. That's kind of stupid. That's so stupid. But anyway, and people always ask me, do you support the LGBT community? Like, do you support that, blah, 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 like in general? I guess because I'm a Christian, so it's like a question. 100%, obviously. Maybe that's not obvious because I'm a Christian, but yes, 100%. I'm a firm believer in, if you are a Christian, you are loving and accepting and encouraging of people to find their truth and connect with God. And it's not my place to tell anyone what I think is, I don't even know, like right or wrong. Like even if I think it's right or wrong, which I don't personally, but even if I did, I still don't think it's my place to tell people that. So I think people just need to mind their business and live their life the best way that they believe they should live their life. And that's how everyone should be. Hi. Like, I think that everyone should have their own set of beliefs. I do think not supporting a whole group of people in general and like saying that what they're doing is wrong or whatever is kind of silly, but that's their belief, so it's really their right. But I don't think that it's anyone's, not right, because I don't think it's a right, but I don't think anyone needs to be shoving anything down anyone's throat. So whether you believe it or whether you don't, people just need to mind their business. I think minding your business is the most important thing anyone can do. Unless someone's killing the earth. I am not minding my business then. Actually, I think I still would mind my business then, because I don't want to shame anyone. Do you have any tattoos? I have 3 tattoos. They're all pretty large. I have butterflies. I have a... sorry, guys. I have a bird, and I have a, like, vase with flowers in it. They don't mean anything. They're just pretty. I don't think tattoos should mean anything. Now, there's nothing against meaningful tattoos, but I have known multiple people who have a lot of tattoos who tell me they kind of wish they didn't get meaningful tattoos, because by the time they're older, they're like, this means nothing to me now. So I went with the pretty route. Maybe I won't think they're pretty when I'm older, but they're generally pretty classic. They're American traditional designs, so... I don't know. Hi, calm down. So I think I'll still like them. Hey, stop. Stop. My dog loves to bite me. I'm trying to train him not to. Okay, someone said, I want an arrow, because you have to pull the arrow back to go forward. That's cool. I like meaningful tattoos like that. Like, I want to get some meaningful tattoos that don't have, like, really specific things. Like, I like the idea of, like, for example, an arrow to symbolize something that you like. I think I would get something like that. I feel like Danny's ignoring my question. What's your question? I can't see it. Are you Catholic or Christian? I am non-denominational Christian. Hey, stop. Calm down, Norman. What's your go-to worship church online? I have a local church that I attend, so I watch that one online. I did go to Hillsong Church in New York one time. It was the most beautiful worship I've ever seen in my entire life. I was weeping the entire worship, but I didn't love the sermon and the pastor, so I don't watch that one. But am I still ignoring your question, whoever that was? I don't remember what your question is. How is Callan? Oh, I just talked to him the other day. I love him so much. Norman, I need you to calm down. If I give you a treat, will you calm down? Bro, you need to come to Australia. I want to go to Australia so bad. I'm sitting down. Can you guys still hear me? I feel like you're not going to be able to hear me. My dad and I are getting a matching turtle the day I turn 18. That is so cute. If my kids want tattoos, I would totally get like a family tattoo. That would be fun. Let's see. Can you guys still hear me well? Favorite song right now? Monsters by All Time Low. Okay, this is a great question. Someone said, do you believe that Christians and Catholics are different? Do you think that Catholics go to hell because of the way they believe? Okay, guys, I don't think it's anyone's business to be deciding who they think is going to hell. It's just not right in any sense. I think that the reason why so many denominations exist and the reason why God or Jesus or anyone didn't say this denomination is right, you need to be doing this. Most of these denominations did not exist when Jesus was around, but regardless, I think that since that was never clarified, then that must mean that there's no real right one. I think it's up to personal interpretation. I think it's up to whatever brings you closest to God. If you're choosing a denomination or no denomination at all, that's your personal relationship with God. That's your journey. So, hey, Norman, come here. So it's not really up to anyone to say whether a denomination is right or wrong. If anyone says that their denomination is right, or that another one is wrong, they are actually wrong. Not in the decision of whether a denomination is right or wrong, but they're wrong in saying that because God never said that. Jesus never said that. None of the denominations were created by Jesus himself, so we really can't say for sure. So it's a little bit silly for people to say that they know what's best for other people. Thoughts on beef stew? I hate beef stew. Beef stew is disgusting. Hi. I love saying hi to Norman, if you guys can tell. I mean, Catholics believe, or my parents taught me that Catholics believe that it's a mixture of good works and believing. And I was wondering what your pop on that was. Sorry if it's ticking you off. No one's ticking me off, guys. That's a really big question. I think the Bible gives a resounding answer that works don't do jack squat for you. There are like 2 verses maybe that claim that you need to do things to like get into heaven or whatever. Again, it's really unclear, so it's hard to say. I don't think, again, there's a solid answer, but if you look at biblical evidence, I do think generally, and from what I have observed, it's more about faith than anything, and it's more about accepting that Jesus died for our sins and that he died for a reason. I think the question that I always ask people when they ask me something like that or when they bring that up is, if you need to do things to get to heaven, if you need works at all, then what did Jesus die for? I really do want to know the answer to that. What do you think Jesus died for if there are still things we have to do on earth in order to like get into heaven or whatever? Emmyn's working on a cover in the other room. That's why you can hear it. Pretty solid in the Bible that it's just by faith. Yeah, that's what I would say. But again, guys, it's up to personal interpretation. I think there's a beautiful truth and depth in the fact that there are so many translations of the Bible. There's so much interpretation. There's so many different words. I really think that's for a reason, because I think that if one person were to say it's all faith, then another person could look at that and say, oh, I don't think that is worth it, so I don't care about Christianity, I don't care about faith. Or if someone else were to say, oh, it's all about work, someone would say that's too much work, I don't want to do that, I'm not going to be a Christian. So if that makes sense, guys, I think that if there was just one perspective or one belief, then a lot less people would follow Jesus. So I think that it is beautiful to have different denominations and different beliefs because, yeah. We need to grow our faith by being good, but we can be saved just by Jesus' blood, in my opinion. Yeah, I guess the question of salvation is, I don't know, guys, it's a big question. But it's not my place to, like, talk about anyone else's salvation. All we can do is think about our own and maybe your spouse. But even then, like, hey, sorry, my dog just started eating my knee. Even then, guys, it's just not really our place. I think by faith you produce good works, if that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. But I think the whole point is that the good works are not absolutely necessary. There's literally nowhere in the Bible does it say that. Not to be intense about it, but it's true. Hey, no. I'm literally holding my dog's mouth shut because he's trying to bite me. Good boy. Do you want a treat? No. Guys, I love live streams. They're so fun. I feel like I get so real on live streams. A lot of people are asking me to make YouTube videos about, like, theological things, and I kind of want to, but I think it's scary, and I don't want to until I am very knowledgeable on it, because there are so many different perspectives and interpretations and translations, etc., so I really don't feel comfortable going on the internet and saying, this is the truth, because I don't really know if I know the truth. I kind of just know what I think I believe right now, but it's hard to say. Hey, no. I will say I do think there is 100% truth, and I think all Christians agree with me, no matter your denomination, that love is the greatest commandment of them all. Jesus literally said that, and that the most important thing you could possibly do over anything is love people and treat people well and be compassionate and kind and not judgmental. That's something not a lot of Christians get. I think that that's something that's never going to change. But okay, let's see. Was Emmyn Christian before he met you? Yeah, Emmyn was raised Christian his entire life. He was raised like non-denominational. Opinions on Scotland. I loved Scotland. I've been wanting to go back to Europe so bad. I really want to go back to Ireland because the food is so good. But Scotland is so good too. Someone said thoughts on communism. What kind of question is that? If you call yourself a Jesus follower, actions should reflect Jesus. Yeah. I mean, that is actually very accurate in my opinion. But my parents have always taught me that this is this and that is that, and I never really get to express my opinions. Yeah, guys, it's really frustrating when, especially when there's so much debate and there's no real, like, concrete truth on a lot of issues in the Bible. It does frustrate me when people think that they have the concrete truth, because it's hard to say, because there are some things where there's, like, resounding evidence in the Bible, like there's 50 verses that clearly state the same thing. But some people think that based on one verse or based on two verses or based on their own interpretation of something that was totally taken out of context, then something must be fact, but that's not true. What do you think of praying in front of candles or to different pictures of God? Okay, first of all, I don't think most people who pray in front of candles are intending anything wrong, but I do think that it is a little strange to pray to anyone who isn't God, or to pray, like, in front of anything that's not, like, a cross, I guess. I don't know why you would pray in front of anything. We don't really need to. I totally understand if that, like, deepens people's faith and if they believe that that's right. There's nothing wrong with that, because I truly, truly do believe that God sees your intention, and if you genuinely believe you're doing the right thing, he's not gonna hate you for that. Like, if you think you're following God and you think that that's the right thing to do, to some degree, because I think that if you think you're murdering someone for God, I don't really know if that's right, but that's a really harsh example. Hey, calm down, Norman. I'm trying to get him to learn to just sit with me, but he won't. I was told that you shouldn't have symbols such as crucifixes or pictures. Yeah, I don't believe you should, but the reason why I don't really say, like, a big answer to that is because I haven't looked into it too much. There are some issues that I have researched heavily and I firmly stand behind, because I have done intense scriptural research on it and the things that I personally believe are the truth, but things like that I haven't really done a ton of interest. Ooh, this is a good question. Do you plan to homeschool your kids if you have them? So my belief on this has changed a little bit. I do think that high school and middle school are just horrific places for children to be in general, unless your kid is like a superhuman who can't, who doesn't succumb to peer pressure. I think it's a horrible place, just because people in middle school and high school, it's basically like, not only I don't really think the education is very good in most schools, not all schools, but most schools. I think that it's hard for teachers to get a really, really good education to one child in a classroom of 40 kids or 20 kids or whatever. So I think it is a little harder. Not saying it's bad, because I think that people get really good educations from public schools or private schools. But I do think that in terms of like social development and people, friends, boys, all that stuff. I say boys because I'm a girl, but I just mean people in general. I think that it's hard for kids to develop their personalities, and I think it's hard for people to not change or go through really hard times like bullying and weird friend groups and like maturing too quickly. I think that there's just a lot of weird stuff that happens when you are immersed in a public school in middle school and high school. Now, I do think elementary school and preschool, kindergarten can be very... Norman, you gotta calm down. Sorry, guys. I think those can be very good for social development. And I have seen, like, with Emmyn's little brothers going to elementary school, going to kindergarten, going to preschool, they don't really, like, you don't really form, like, intense friendships there. There's no drama. There's no, like, weird traumatic experiences that happen in elementary school. So I think that I want all my kids, I mean, I've decided we want all our kids to go to, like, a preschool, kindergarten, elementary school, whatever. But then after that, I would like to homeschool them. But I still really want my kids to be out in the world doing sports, doing activities. I just don't think being around kids your age 8 hours a day is good for your child, and I also don't think it's good for their education. But that's just my opinion. I also think other people have very different experiences. It's just what I've learned. Okay, let's see. I'm reading more stuff, but it was hard to read from far away, guys. I have bad vision. High school is bad. It's exactly like in Mean Girls. The worst part of public school is when Tina Fey tries to sell your kids crack. That's good. No. High school didn't really affect me in the sense of peer pressure and changing myself. Yeah, some people go through school and don't have a problem with it. So it also could be up to the kid. Like if my kid seems to have a really good sense of self and is very confident and wouldn't have like a big problem being around people all the time and wouldn't get sad and lonely and bullied like a lot of people do, then maybe I would put them in school like if they really wanted to. But I don't necessarily think every kid has to go to school. I do think it's up to the individual child. Guys, Norman's only being a good boy right now because he wants a treat. The treats are right in front of him. He's dying for one, but I'm not trying to give him too many. You'll be an amazing mom. I'm so proud. That is so cute. Someone said, are you against vaccines? No. I think some vaccines, I got them. I was fine. I do know there are like a ton of vaccines that are created recently. That does kind of freak me out a little bit. Because I don't know how I feel about like things that are new, but I do think that everyone should vaccinate their children to a certain degree. However, I totally understand if a person is weary about a new vaccine that we don't know a lot about, because I would be scared like putting something in my kid that we don't know a lot about. But I got many vaccinations as a child that were totally fine, so I don't know, that's a hard question. Hey, hi. Hi. Guys, I love this comment section. You guys are so funny. What kind of breed is Norman? He's a Bernedoodle. He's a Bernese Mountain Dog and a Poodle. I'm still answering questions, guys. This is so funny. I'm getting so many funny comments. Guys, I love my dog. He's so cute. Emmyn! Are you still recording? Why'd you stop? Okay, I'm live streaming. I'm just letting you know. Guys, ask me questions, please. I want to hear more questions. Do you enjoy not being busy because of quarantine? Not really. I like to go places. I like to do stuff. So I don't love being locked in my house, but I don't know who does. Favorite candy? I don't really like candy. If dark chocolate counts as a candy, I really like dark chocolate and pretzels. Ooh, that's delicious. But I don't really like candy. It makes me feel icky. Guys, I'm sorry for being boring. I'm just reading the comments and seeing what's in here. What was your favorite age? Childhood was just a great time because you don't have any worries. But I think honestly this year has been my favorite. This age, the age of 19, just because I got married and everything. It was the hardest year of my entire life. But I think it's been like the most rewarding and like the most growth I've ever experienced in a year is this year. Do you feel like you're in the best place in your life right now? Not the best place in my life because, like, specifically my house is a mess. And, quarantine is not easy. Sometimes I fall behind on a lot of things. But I do think that I'm in the most mature and, like, educated part of my life because I have been diving into my beliefs and, like, my passions and, like, just like certain things more than I ever have in my entire life. So I do feel like I'm in the best part of my life in a lot of ways, yes. Like as of now, but I think my life is going to get a lot better. Has it been difficult adjusting to married life in terms of gaining more independence, or were you prepared for it being an independent person already? I was moved out already when I started dating him. Or no, I actually wasn't. So when I started dating Emmyn, I was about to move out of my mom's house. And I was having my first like roommates and all that stuff. So I was like sort of independent, but not super independent. And then when I got married, then we moved in together right after. So I don't know. I think that I've always been a pretty independent person. That wasn't really a struggle at all. Like becoming independent as an adult was not hard for me because I think I matured really quickly and grew up really fast just in general. But I don't know. I feel like people say that marriage is like this crazy adjustment with like, I don't know, like it's so scary and something. I understand it's like that for some people, but for me, I wasn't scared at all. It was like, I was just like living with my pal, you know, like it really wasn't that big of a deal. Obviously it's important, but I'm saying it wasn't like, oh my gosh, I'm so scared. It wasn't scary to me. It was just like, yeah, this makes sense. If you had to speak a different language, what would you speak? Spanish? I know a lot of Spanish already, but I'm learning Spanish for real now because in the quarantine there's a lot of time. So Emmyn's grandma is teaching us, and we really want our kids to be speaking Spanish. We want to speak Spanish to our kids because obviously I'm a white person, but I will be having Hispanic children, so I want them to have their own culture, and I want them to speak their language, and I want them to not lose that just because they have a white mother. So yeah, we're learning Spanish. I'm reading more comments. Someone said, you're white. Shut up. What did you think about H&M? or what did you do in H&M? How did you feel about working there? I was just like a salesperson, so it really wasn't that big of a deal. I only worked there for like 2 months. But it was just I hated working there. I liked it at first actually a lot because it was my first like job outside of anything at all. I got it because I got it because I wanted to experience like a normal job, but I ended up hating it, not because of like working, but because actually on Black Friday was the day that I realized that I didn't want to do it anymore, because so many people were buying so much stuff and I was like, I can't contribute to this anymore. So that's why I quit. But I did not hate working there. Hold on, I'm gonna put Norman away because he is freaking out. Oh, my leg is asleep. Oh my gosh. Come on, Norman. It's the boy. Guys, my leg is fully asleep. Oh my gosh. Alright, now I can really read my comments. Scrolling through my comments. If you could visit one place, where would you go? I would go to Europe again, because I really want to go. Actually, I guess if I could visit one place, it would be Australia, because I haven't been to Australia before, but I really want to go back to Europe. Someone said, do you curse? I think this is a good thing to talk about because I obviously never used to say any sort of curse words or anything on the internet, and now I like lightly do. I don't really like curse in my daily life. I curse as a joke because it's funny sometimes, but obviously I say like damn and stuff like that. That's like really not like a curse word, but I don't really curse in general. I just do when it's funny. I only curse on accident, someone said. That's pretty funny. Do you watch reality TV? No. I don't think so. I watched, I'm turning the effect off, it looks weird now. I watched Love is Blind, but that's all. Guys, I hate these comments. Do you believe in love after love? Do you dye your own hair? Yes. What do you think of All Distortions Are Intentional? Are you excited? Oh my gosh, that's Neck Deep's new album. I'm so excited. I literally cannot wait for that to come out. The first songs are just amazing. So amazing. When You Know is just like the true beauty of my life. But someone said, why did you change your view on cursing? Why is it fine now? So guys, I have always cursed in my life. I actually used to curse way more. I had a foul mouth as a teenager. I just didn't post on the internet, but I think I post about I don't curse though still. First of all, I cleaned up my mouth a lot because I realized it was a little bit silly to curse that much, at least for me. I don't think anyone else needs to be like that, but for me, I didn't like it anymore. So I stopped cursing in general, except a couple words, obviously. And when it's funny. But I think I just say it now because I don't think it's really wrong anymore. I used to think it was wrong for children to hear damn or something like that. But I don't, or even any curse words at all. I don't think that, first of all, I don't think that it's, this is a controversial subject, but I don't think that kids who are allowed to freely roam the internet should be protected by me for I don't know how to explain this. I think that if a mother or a father lets their kid freely roam the internet, then they should expect their kid to see things a lot worse than me saying ass or something. So I don't think it's wrong anymore. Also, I don't think cursing is that big of a deal anymore. Sometimes kids curse and it's silly. I don't think it's that big of a deal anymore. So I think my view just changed honestly. It's not that I like started cursing, because I used to curse way more. Let's see, what else? I'm reading some more comments, guys. Do you believe in love? Wow, you guys love asking personal questions. Would you ever release your own sustainable clothing or makeup or home products, etc.? Yes, absolutely. I would love to have my own company, but I don't feel comfortable even starting that until I have more education on it. So I do plan to like start selling something in the future. I don't know what it's going to be, but some kind of like small batch product or whatever. But I do want to do that at some point. Someone said, have you seen the video of you cursing on YouTube? Guys, obviously I've seen that video. I made that video. It used to be the biggest deal in the world to me, because again, I used to think that it was wrong to like curse on the internet or whatever. And I had like a reputation to uphold or whatever. So I used to freak out about that, but now I think it's really silly. The fact that someone posted it is kind of wrong, because that was like my personal video that I put on my Finsta, and it wasn't meant for like the outside world to see. So I think that people could have had a little bit more respect to like what was supposed to be private to me versus what was supposed to be public. But it's not that big of a deal. I don't really care anymore. I'm just kidding. So you think that cursing isn't forbidden for Christians? Did I get it right? Yeah, it's hard to say. In the Bible, like talking about cursing or whatever, they used to say words that were really terrible. Jesus even said some like curse words that were considered curse words in the day. I don't think saying foul words is wrong. I think a lot of the talk in the Bible about cursing is more about like cursing God's name and stuff like that. That's obviously like not supposed to happen. But again, I really don't think like saying a word is like the biggest deal in the whole world. Someone said, so weird that there's certain words society just decided they were a big deal to say. I think about that all the time, guys. Someone just randomly decided one day that a curse word is a curse word, and I think that's so funny. Like it's someone just made that up. I'm still reading the comments. I'm just waiting for something interesting. Okay, but why do people try to substitute curse words? The intent is the same. That kind of makes sense, guys. I kind of agree with that. I don't know. Why are they called curse words? Are we going to get cursed for saying them? That's a good question. Tanny, please collab with Jesus. Okay. Are you planning on traveling a lot after quarantine? I mean, not like a lot, because it's like annoying, or it's like expensive, but I do want to go to California very bad ASAP, because I really miss California. And Miami. I miss Miami as well. So, yes, I want to go to Miami, California soon, but I'm not planning on like traveling a ton. Now that song is stuck in my head. You should make a chill playlist on Spotify, thanks. Okay. Someone said, are you straight edge? I don't identify with straight edge, but I don't drink or smoke, so I don't know. I think maybe one day in my life I'll probably have a glass of wine or something if I want to, because I kind of like the taste of it, but like, I don't know. I don't like plan on drinking really ever. I I noticed that you never wear revealing clothes. Does it have something to do with your faith? I think it's great. So that's a good question, because I think that everyone has noticed that I started dressing a little differently, not like radically, but a little differently recently. I think it kind of goes along with my whole belief change, that it's not as terrible as I used to think it was to like show your stomach or something. Personally, I don't feel comfortable wearing certain things, just because I don't. But I don't think that certain outfits or ways of dressing are as big of a deal as I used to think they were. But I think that it's really up to the individual. I don't think that there's like a right or wrong way to dress. I think it's just about what you're comfortable with. Was it hard to find someone who shared the same values as you? Does Emmyn also not smoke or drink? Emmyn is extremely straight edge. Like, he has not ever thought about drinking or smoking ever in his entire life. Emmyn is like a, I don't know, like a unicorn who has never wanted to do anything bad in his entire life. And I say bad just as a general term, but he's always been straight edge, so no, that was not a hard thing for me. He actually met me when I was still like drinking and doing things that I don't do anymore. I guess I've never talked about that. I should probably talk about that at some point. But no, Emmyn actually used to have different morals than I did, and we had different beliefs. And it wasn't until we got married that I kind of stopped doing some certain things that I used to do, so. Why does everyone keep, oh, never mind. Wah, 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 wah. Ellie, just expose yourself. It's not that big of a deal, guys. You used to drink, OMG, you should have to talk about it. I know. I want to make a YouTube video about it, I think, but it's also not that big of a deal, but I don't know. Please talk about your past. It's so interesting to hear. Let's see, what can I explain? I mean, I think most people have party phases in their life. Like, I think most people go through that as teenagers. So when I was like 17, 16, 18, I want to say I was in a very intense party phase. I'm not going to say I was like getting drunk every night, but I was drinking a good amount, smoking. I had a Juul. There was a lot of stuff that I did as a 17-year-old secretly under wraps. But I stopped doing that because I started to realize that, first of all, I was like only doing it with people who weren't really my friends. Sorry, I just read a funny comment. I was only doing it with people who weren't really my friends. And I kind of realized that like my friendships were getting like, not getting, but they were just weird at the time. When I started like going to parties and all that stuff, like it was just a weird time for me. And also simultaneously, every time I was like, not every time, but in that phase where I was like drinking a lot, then I was just really sad all the time. So I kind of realized that I was not having a good time in life. And I think that I just realized I didn't want to drink anymore. And like, that's kind of it. I just realized like, I don't need to do this. Also, I have like a genetic line of alcoholics in my family, so I didn't want to risk anything happening. So I don't know. I just didn't think it was worth it to me. Weren't you afraid you were gonna get caught or arrested? I mean, kind of, but like I feel like when I was 17, I was just like living life, having a good time. I wasn't really thinking about that. So someone said you were scared of spiraling. Yeah, I was just kind of scared of getting worse, and like depending on alcohol or like drinking more than I already was, or like just like going down a path I didn't want to go down. So I kind of just like stopped myself. I mean, Emmyn really helped me with it, but I kind of just decided like I need to not do this before it gets worse. Did you ever try weed? Yes, multiple times. This is so funny I'm talking about this on the live stream, but I don't think it's weird to talk about it anymore. I guess I just never talked about it. But yes, I smoked weed many times in my life. I just don't think it's the right thing for me to do anymore, so I stopped doing that a long time ago. Like, I want to say I haven't done that in 2 years? 2 years? Yeah, it's been a long time. saying it's not weird at all, and some of you are like, oh my gosh, so it's pretty funny. But I think it is shocking for a lot of people because I think that I did put out like a fake image most of my life. Sorry, hold on. I think I did put out a fake image a lot of my life, and that was wrong. I really should have been honest about things and not like promoted that I was like living a different life than I was. So I'm really just trying to be honest and like not a liar to people anymore. So yeah. Did you use a Juul? Yes, I had a Juul for a year. 6 months. A while. And then I got rid of it because I started dating Emmyn, and he was like, dude, that thing is literally going to kill you, basically. And I was like, oh yeah, you're right. So I threw it away. That video you and your sisters made about drinking and partying, was all that fake, the things you said? I don't remember what that is, but tell me what that is, because I don't think so. I don't think I ever like lied or said I don't drink. I think I was just in the room when people said like we something, and I never really like protested it. But I definitely never talked about it, and I probably should have. I would be your friend, Dani. Thanks, guys. I love friends. Luis, is that how you say your name? I would love to be your friend. Guys, if you want to be my friend, please just message me. I will be all of your friends, and I will message you, and we will talk, because you don't need to live in the same place to be friends. Duh. How to have fun without partying. Oh, I need to rewatch that. But just because I made that video doesn't mean I was lying. I mean, I was just giving other ideas, but I wasn't lying. Oh my gosh. Oh, this is a good story. A lot of people ask me what my family thought about that. It bothers me when people ask that kind of question, but I do think this is a funny story, so I will tell. So basically, I was like drinking and smoking and all that stuff from when I was like 16, 17 to like the middle of my 18th year. Not as much. I think 17 was the heaviest year that I was like doing things like that. And then my friend at the time, whatever, she freaking told my whole family about what I was doing. Hi.
Are you still alive?
Yeah. I'm telling the story. Yeah, he was out for a while. I'm telling the story about how my friend told my family that I was partying a lot. I was in the middle of it. What's up?
Oh, am I supposed to leave?
No, you don't have to leave, but I'm still telling the story. Do you want me to finish? Or do you want to say something? Yes. Anyway, she told my whole family. No, Luis, it's not the person you commented. It's someone else. You guys don't know who it is. She told my whole family.
Who's Luis?
And then I stopped for a while, but then I started doing it again.
Who is Luis?
This person.
Callan?
No.
Does he know you?
No. Everyone's saying it's Kara. Guys, it's not Kara.
It was Kara.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't Kara. It was
Don't
someone
blow
else.
up her IG.
It was someone else. No. Kara was my homie at the time.
I feel like you stopped your... I feel like you stopped your stories time.
No, that was the whole story. The whole story was that I stopped doing it for like a short period of time because they told my whole family, but I kept doing it after that. It didn't really stick until like...
How did this spark?
I'm telling all the stories in this live stream. I know people ask me all these questions, so I'm answering them.
What are they asking?
All the questions.
What was the
about
question?
religion, about life, about cursing, about wearing shirts to show your stomach, about all that
So
stuff.
how did this come up?
I don't remember.
Did you say you guys want to hear a story?
No, I don't remember. I just started talking about it randomly. Someone said, was it Jesus that made you stop doing that stuff? No, I definitely did not
She was...
stop when I was for a religious
Are
reason.
you unconscious Calleiro or Dani?
I'm unconscious Calleiro.
You have 175 people?
I know, because people are realizing I'm spilling all the tea.
She stopped smoking and drinking when I started dating her.
Yeah, guys, I said that, but I've slowed down a lot when we first started dating because I didn't have the same friends that I used to have. The biggest reason...
Look it up.
The biggest reason why I was doing it in the first place is because I was surrounded by all these people who were doing it as well. So when I lost a lot of friends when I was 18. Then I stopped doing it as much, but I was still like drinking sometimes. And then I started dating Emmyn, and he was very straight edge, so he became a really good influence on me. And then I was like, oh yeah, I don't really want to do this anymore. Jesus told your family. Carol Basket told your family. That's good, guys.
I don't think any parents love it.
People love asking personal questions, by the way.
You were telling people personal stories.
Oh yeah. We can't answer that, right?
People loved asking personal questions.
I feel like someone's gonna record this and post on YouTube with a super crazy title.
Danny.
Probably.
Drug addict. Danny doesn't use the new toilet thing anymore.
The bidet?
Mm-hmm.
I used it today.
No, you did not.
Yeah, I did.
I haven't used it since the one video we shot.
I used it today. Why are there so many people watching me, guys? Come on. You just want to know all the drama. Please make videos about forbidden subjects. I honestly am going to make videos about a lot of these things because I think they're important to talk about. And I think a lot of people don't talk about stuff because like they think that it's like wrong for little kids to hear about them. But I don't think that's the case anymore. I think that we should educate people, and it's not really like my responsibility of what your kids need to hear because you let your kid freely roam on the internet. So that's your responsibility, not mine. Is that harsh? Someone said Gibby. What do you think about the Gibby comments, Emmyn?
I've been called Gibby my whole life.
You do kind of look like him. I don't think it's offensive, guys.
Facts.
Are you an alcoholic? Yes. Sorry, I'm just kidding. That was a joke. I'm not an alcoholic. That's a very serious topic. Gibby, please say hi to me. Okay, Natalie, you're being annoying.
That should be the intro to our next vlog.
What?
I should jump on her dining
And say, Gibby!
Rip open my shirt.
You should do that. Well, this is a good question. You said in a recent video that Emmyn leads your relationship. Do you feel submissive? Are you a feminist? Guys, that's hard
How
to
do they know I'm
explain.
covering blinding lights?
Because you have heard
You
it.
did not tell them I did that.
You've
Did
literally
you
been
tell them
playing
I was
it so loud
so
the
you
entire
so
time.
you told
I said Emmyn's working on a cover and they heard it.
And
so.
what song? No.
I didn't say what the song
Did
was.
she
They can
say
hear it.
Blinding Lights?
Everyone knows. Wah, 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 wah. Everyone
It
knows
wasn't
that.
that loud though.
Natalie got engaged to the tall guy?
Who was Natalie?
Natalie is a person I used to talk to on Twitter all the time. Did she get engaged to him? What was his name? I actually don't know if he's tall. I think I just assumed he's tall. Okay, let me answer that question. So, no, I don't feel submissive because I feel like submissive is like, I don't even know, like listening to, how do you explain that?
Avoiding the question again.
No, I'm not avoiding the question again, okay?
Dot.
Let me finish. I guess just what I meant by that was that,
You don't need to answer those questions, Danny.
no, but I wanted to answer because I don't want people to think I'm some wimp. I think what I meant by that is that I don't even know. I don't even know what I meant by that. I think I meant exactly what I said. I don't actually think I need to explain that anymore. Natalie said, no, I'm gay. What? Okay, you guys are really confusing me. I need to answer some real questions that aren't confusing. Oh, am I a feminist? That's what they really want to know. Yeah, I don't really think identifying as anything is necessary, like saying I'm this or I'm that. Do I agree with feminist ideology? Yes, but I don't.
I think most people
So
do.
yeah, I don't really know why you would. I think it's stupid to not.
Oh,
What?
I was thinking another song. I told you my
Level of
recorded.
concern. Yeah, you should.
I think that song's gonna be big pretty soon.
It's a great song.
Why do you have the windows? Why do you have a good time?
I know. You could bring down my level of concern. Someone said, why do you use gender inclusive language? Because I want to be gender inclusive. Why else would I use it? need you to tell me what alright, tell me what okay, need you. Uh-oh, I only have 2 minutes left on this live stream. It's gonna shut me down. Are you still recording?
Yeah.
Because I will keep live streaming. I'm having a great time.
Maybe you should do something productive.
I probably should.
You can work on Sunday's video.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Because that's going to take you a very long time.
Yeah, that's true. All right, guys, I'm going to go soon because I have to work on my video. I'm going to do some research. When did the name Norman come from? Norman, I just made it up. Guys, I have like 1 minute left. Ugh. Have you ever smoked cigarettes? Yes, I smoked cigarettes like 3 times in my life. And I actually liked it, which is horrible because it's so bad for you. But I haven't done that in like 2 years. It was just like a random, occasional thing that happened when like someone else had one. But no, I did not like smoke cigarettes consistently ever in my life. I need you now. Guys, I only have 50 seconds left. This live was the best live you've ever done. Thanks. Thanks. It's pretty fun. Why does everyone think I smoke weed? No, guys, I did when I was 17. I told you I haven't done that in like 2 years. Okay, guys, I only have 30 seconds left, so I'm leaving once this 30 seconds is up. I'm leaving once it's up. 20 seconds. And I'm going. "13 seconds. 10 seconds. You walk by like you never